2024 season. Glenn talked on his mentality leading up to the matchup.
I'm just going to go out and be me, do what I can do, and just have fun doing it. I mean, that's what you play the game for. When you're a little kid, you go out and you truly enjoy playing the game. That's how I'm going to go out there Saturday night and just have fun.
Noles and Tigers kick off tomorrow at 7. It's 85 degrees at 12 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, get ready to spend the next 2 hours with our three sports-loving ladies. Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Hey, hey. This is Helmets and Heels
on 1010XL. Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
Show me what you got, pretty lady.
Well, Mia and I are here. Taylor has today off in the next few days as she journeys up to Chicago, but we will talk all things Furyk and Friends, all things Jaguars. We are live here at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament presented by CK. It's the fourth year here at Timuquana Country Club, and they do such a great job, Mia, with raising money for local charities. Over $3.5 million to this point. And like I said, this is just the fourth year of this tournament. If you want to come on out, come to Timuquana. You can see Fred Couples, Davis Love III, Ernie Els, John Daly, VJ Singh, Fred Funk, David Duval, Justin Leonard, and so many more.
Yeah, I've already made the conscious effort and point to have one headset off. If you're watching at the MyBookie Digital Studio right now, one of my ears is off because last year we were here at the Patriots Outpost and, maybe a little bit too loud with the tee box on hole 8 just shortly ahead of us. But, hey, it's a party here today. I don't think I have to worry too much, especially with the tee box being moved up a few feet. Thank you to our friend Kathy Hurlbert for informing me that we are in the clear for the most part this year comparatively. But we also have the beautiful 7 green right in front of us. Birdie beers are on display, and it is a party, like I said, here at the Patriots Outpost. A lot of folks already out here for round 1 of Constellation Furyk and Friends, which just announced yesterday it has extended its partnership not only with the PGA Tour champions, but also with Constellation as that title sponsor.
Yeah, some golf tournaments, Mia, are stuck up. They're snobby, right? This golf tournament is the exact opposite of that. Everyone is friendly. Everyone's having a good time. We appreciate ViStar. They're the military sponsor of the Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K. And we thank Island Wing Company, Taco Lou, Chick-fil-A, Sonati's Bakery, and Bluebell Ice Cream for all donating food to the Patriots Outpost today. So we appreciate them having us. We will check in with Chris Reimer at 12:35. He knows everything there is to know about this golf tournament. And to give you a quick leaderboard update, Joe Durant leads the tournament. He is 5 under through 8, and he started on the back 9. So we will certainly keep you updated.
As far as some of the heavy hitters, those big names that you know from Constellation Furyk and Friends years past, I did see Jim Furyk coming past us on, I believe this is hole 10, so I believe he started on the back 9. But we will keep you posted on some of those other big names. John Daly is here. We have video evidence of it on our social channels with the Hooters bag. He crushed a Dunkin' Donuts, I hear, per sources, per boots on the ground. And so, look, it's a party here. And a lot of those names that you grew up watching on the tour now playing on the Champions Tour. And so get on out here and support a great cause here at Timuquana throughout the course of the weekend.
Absolutely. All right, let's get it to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Such a massive game this weekend. Last weekend was certainly massive, too, and the Jaguars traveled to Houston. But they ended up losing the lead and lost the game, of course, to the Houston Texans, who tried to give it away, as we all know. So now the Jaguars play host to the Colts. We talked about it earlier this week, the fact that the Colts have not won in Jacksonville since September of 2014. And here's Trevor Lawrence's stat against the Colts in Jacksonville. 639 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 73.9% completion percentage, over 109 QB rating, and he is 3-0. I say all that to say, Mia, not to put extra pressure on Trevor on his birthday, but this is a guy who I think, of all defenses he sees, he's pretty good against the Gus Bradley defense.
Yeah, I was thinking about it this morning, Lauren, and I know our friend Daniel Griffiths of Jaguar Report put out the stat earlier this week about streaks, both losing and winning under Doug Peterson.
Unfortunately, a lot of losing streaks.
A lot of streaks. And look, I don't know how this story ends here in 2024, but what I can tell you is when you look at the losing streaks the Jaguars have had, a lot of times, or at the very least, if you go back to 2022 in that 5-game losing streak, Trevor Lawrence quite literally had to hit rock bottom, and he had to be the reason that they lost a football game in London against the then Russell Wilson-led Denver Broncos, the then Nathaniel Hackett-led Denver Broncos. And so that's where I have optimism, because I do think he not only was very graceful and forward in that he shouldered a lot of the load from the loss in Houston on Sunday, which, by the way, as we've gone ad nauseum throughout the course of the week of the positives that this team took away from a 24-20 loss. Yes, it's another loss, but it obviously felt like the team was a lot closer in that game to being the team they believe they are than they did 6 days earlier in Orchard Park, New York. And so that is
it's hard to be positive when you get your butts beat on national television.
Right, exactly. And so that's where, the one thing that we've identified that if there was anyone who could walk away, and there were a couple players who could certainly walk away from that game and say, burn the tape, it did not look good. Not that Trevor Lawrence burned that tape from Sunday. I know he went back and he watched it and studied it. I'm sure of that. But the idea of, hey, I need to just kind of wipe everything away and I need to just play. That's what he did back in 2022 when they came back from London. They played the Vegas Raiders, which, by the way, they were down 2 scores at halftime of that game. Something changed in the second half of that game, and I don't mean a spark. I mean quite literally the mindset changed. And for Trevor going against a Gus Bradley defense that, yes, to your point, Lauren, he's had so much success against, so much of that success is taking what's given to you, right? And so that's where I look at where he currently is. I look back at that Raiders game. Heck, I look at week 2 of that 2022 season when the Jaguars shut the Colts out at Everbank Stadium. And what did we see in both those games in which he flipped the script? He took what the defense gave him. We saw the same thing when the Colts came to Jacksonville last year, when 5 days later the Jaguars went to New Orleans on Thursday Night Football. Everyone was questioning having to play 3 games in 11 days. And when Trevor settled in, stopped trying to push the ball downfield. We know he can push the ball downfield, but if you don't take the underneath opportunities that a defense is presenting to you, you're never going to find a rhythm that allows for you to take deep shots.
Yeah, the coaches this week were very honest and candid, and they said, look, we're going to keep giving the ball to Trevor Lawrence just because he missed some throws last week. And certainly there's been a lot of talk about division, and divisiveness has been a theme this week, that Doug's off the locker room and that Doug and Trevor aren't on the same page and things like that. Of course, publicly they have said all the right things, that Doug has not lost the locker room and that Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson have a great relationship. I think that's certainly going to be put to test this Sunday, because we have seen Trevor miss some guys and certainly take accountability, but the offense has to go through Trevor's ability to read the field, go through his progressions. And while you may say, well, that's what every quarterback has to do, but especially this quarterback that has been now surrounded by more weapons than he's ever had before. So the expectation, certainly the contract and all that, has risen. And I think Trevor Lawrence spent so much of the offseason focused on all the turnovers that the playing loose and free has certainly gone away a little bit. And I really thought going into this season, between Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and Brian Thomas Jr., that Trevor would be at the 5,000-yard mark and somewhere in the 30-touchdown range. To this point in the season, nothing has gone according to plan when it comes to the offense, as we know. Maybe running the ball has been a spark, but overall the offense has been what I would call broken. But Trevor has the opportunity on Sunday, wearing the throwback jersey, to tell everybody who says that Trevor's not the answer. He has the opportunity to put all of that to bed, to throw for 300-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, and say, I've got this team. I'm going to put this team on my back. I've got what it takes, and I'm going to spend my birthday with a celebration that night. It's so important that the Jaguars win this one.
All I know is, Lauren, Kirk Cousins dropped back 58 times and threw for 509 yards last night.
With a little extra time.
At 35 years, that offensive line's beat up too. That's not an excuse.
No, I mean overtime.
Overtime.
Extra time in the game.
There was, I mean, all of 3 plays of overtime, and certainly a 45-yard touchdown to end it last night in the ATL, and so that helped that final stat line. But no, if Kirk Cousins, coming off of an Achilles tear in his mid-30s, can drop back and throw the ball 58 times, I'm not prescribing to the thought of Trevor Lawrence needs to throw the ball 58 times, because in turn, if that means you're only running the ball 18 times like the Falcons did last night, that could potentially open up the door for becoming one-dimensional, which we've seen what happens when this team comes one-dimensional. So I'm not subscribing to that school of thought. of you need to be dropping back 40-plus times, because I do think you need to have a balanced offense, but I also think that you have to get lathered up a little bit in order to find a rhythm, whether you're Tank Bigsby at the running back position, which we've also talked about ad nauseum, or if you're Trevor Lawrence playing quarterback. You need to find a rhythm, and you can find a rhythm by completing 6-yard pass, 7-yard pass, 8-yard pass, a run, another run.
Yeah, staying ahead of the
a
sticks.
6-yard pass. Exactly. Doesn't that consistency play over play and finding a rhythm doesn't honestly happen when you're taking 60-yard deep shots back-to-back plays. Like, that's not a plan for sustainable success. At the same time, you do have to use him. You do have to have the offense revolve around him because of the pass-catching weapons that you've also assembled on this roster.
Yeah, look, the offensive line played better last week. Certainly the tackles had their best game of the season. So if the line can continue to protect him, and if they can maybe get Evan Ingram back, which the update from Doug Peterson this morning, Evan, of course, still dealing with a hamstring injury, he'll be evaluated closer to game time. I do feel like that flat start that we saw against the Browns, that's not going to happen on Sunday. The crowd is going to be electric, and certainly Tom Coughlin going into the pride of the Jaguars is going to, I think, also bring in an added excitement level. And the fact that the team is 0-4, you're not going to feel that in the fan base. So right off the rip, especially if Evan Ingram is able to play and you see number 17 go out there the first time the offense has the ball, I think we're going to see something like a first pass to BTJ. Let's not say maybe 66 yards by any means, but a 20-yard pass to BTJ. Like, I think they're going to come out the cylinders firing, and they want to get the crowd certainly into it.
I would like a 7-yard pass to BTJ, Lauren. I think
I'll take 20.
No, I need 7. Because you want to know why? Because, again, that is taking what the cover 3 of Gus Bradley is presenting to you, and that's how you create rhythm, and that's how you stay ahead of the sticks. Enough with these slow developing, I need a 20-plus yard play down the field. I know it's exciting.
Yeah.
I know you want the spark, Lauren.
I
but
do.
Ultimately,
I need it.
But ultimately,
that game against the Browns was
But guess what?
trash.
You know what, Lauren? Go back to the last 2 times that this team has played that Gus Bradley-led defense in Jacksonville. It hasn't been a laser show. The one laser you saw last year in the Week 5 matchup was the play to Christian Kirk for a touchdown down the left sideline, which was a soft spot in the zone that Trevor and Kirk together, independent of the rest of the team, identified during the week and said, we're going to hit this. I'm going to double punch it, double fake here, and then look to you. That was the 2 of them with synergy. Otherwise, it was so many short, little, intermediate, stay ahead of the sticks. Give what they are presenting to you. Take what they are presenting to you. Not, I need to push this ball 66 yards down the field. Like, if it's there, take it.
Sure.
Yes, I'm not saying not. But I want to see a disciplined play within yourself. Because I remember that second game of 2022. You could tell, and I vividly remember, because I know, I asked Trevor post-game and said, how much did you want to push the ball down the field? And he had this wry smile, and he was like, yeah, I did. But I knew if this is what they are giving me, this is what I need to take. And so you have to play within yourself when you're playing a defense like this.
And I get all that, certainly. Whatever helps them find the rhythm is the most important thing. But they didn't have Brian Thomas Jr. last year, right? Like, they didn't have that field stretcher and that guy that literally to this point it feels like no one can cover him. So good luck, Colts. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but it feels like his route running and his speed, he is almost uncoverable.
Well, here's the thing, though. You're going to have that opportunity. If you're completing those short intermediate passes early on, you lull them to sleep. Unfortunately, the Colts will not make adjustments until halftime, much to the chagrin of our content producer, Trent Osborne, who's listening back at 1010XL headquarters and shaking his head right now, as we saw against the Green Bay Packers when they were torched for 230 yards on the ground. And then in the second half, they decided to bring Nick Cross, one of their safeties, in to crowd the box. Oh, what a novel idea, Gus. And so that's where you have to wait. You have to be disciplined. The shot will be there, Lauren. But I don't want to see him forcing it in the first quarter.
Yeah, the most important thing is that the offense and Press Taylor, who's now calling the plays we all have learned after last weekend, that they are able to get the ball to their playmakers. And I did think that they did a really good job against the Texans. I thought the play calling was much better last Sunday.
I did too.
And I get the ball to those playmakers, especially if Evan Ingram is able to play. All right, we've got tons more to do. When we return, we will give you the latest when it comes to injuries. And also we will make our picks. Like I said, Taylor is off today, and a couple days next week she's heading up to see the Bears play. But me and I are holding down the fort here live at Timuquana for the Constellation Fierick and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K. It's a Sunshine Turf Friday, by the way. Visit them online, sunshineturf.info, or call 904-383-0243. I know for the Players' Championship, Caleb and his team brought out some turf, and all the volunteers had a great time putting on that. Again, visit them, sunshineturf.info. It's a Sunshine Turf Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Together, one play at a time.
It's the moment the game changed.
Up in the air, it is caught!
Listen for the performance painting high performance play of the game.
Are you kidding me?
On 1010XL. Performance painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Mia here, live, Timuquana Golf and Country Club, and it is hot outside, folks. I don't care that it's October the 4th, and that means your AC better be blowing nice and cold on the inside of your house. If for any reason it's not, my friends at Duck Duck Air Conditioning are here to help. Their qualified service techs can handle any type of cooling issue at your home or business. So don't deal with the summer heat outside and inside. Give Duck Duck AC a call today to schedule service, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Duck AC is a licensed mechanical contractor.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence. Served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators. People need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house?
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
Getting you ready for the game. Pre-game Friday. Brought to you by MyBookie and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Every week, we're seeing listeners cash in betting with MyBookie. Mia here, and look, you don't have to bet big. Just getting some skin in the game makes it so much more fun. This weekend, your hometown team is actually favored to beat the Colts, -3. What a world! This may be one of those reverse jinx games where I bet the Colts to win, and if they don't, I'm still happy. The Bills play the Texans, and the Stephon Diggs revenge game sure sounds like a shootout, so give me the over on the 47.5 game total over there. And on Sunday night, the Cowboys are 2.5-point road dogs traveling to Pittsburgh. I'll take the Cowboys with the points. No way they start 2-3, right? The MyBookie double deposit bonus is still live, up to $1,000. Get signed up now using promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. One more time, promo code 1010XL. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.
If you're getting married or want to upgrade your bands, now is the time at Beard's Diamonds.
Because it's Beard's Diamonds' incredible buy one, get one on wedding band sale.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you're looking for new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. Don't wait. Visit BigChiefService.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling. Visit BigChiefService.com today.
Sunshine Turf Friday on Helmets and Heels.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Southampton invites you to enjoy a round of golf and then a round with your buds, thanks to their game day special. Every Saturday and Sunday during the season, order up 10 wings and a cold pitcher for just $22. Plus, being a member at Southampton has its privileges, like a $500 gift card when you join with a paid initiation fee. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Twilight Golf every day with special rates after 3 o'clock. Don't forget trivia Thursday nights and music on the patio Friday night. All at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Franchi Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body. For as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Mia O'Brien, RJ Saunders back at 1010XL World Headquarters. I'm Lauren Brooks. We are live here at the Constellation Farrick and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K. And in the commercial break, there were tons of birdies happening here. So you missed the roar of the crowd as we were not live, but I'm sure there will be more as we go along. Speaking of the roar of the crowd, the first Duval on Sunday will be delivered by none other than former Jaguars wide receiver Jimmy Smith, an absolute legend here. That's right. You know Jimmy Smith is going to deliver one of the best Duvals we've ever seen. That's right. I love that. Round of applause, RJ. And so, yeah, get there early, get in your seats, and be ready to make some noise. All right. So we mentioned Evan Ingram and his injury status update. What's the story for everyone else?
The personal injury attorneys of Farrah & Farrah present this injury update. Farrah & Farrah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All righty. Well, we are out here at Timuquana Golf Club, for the Constellation Farrick and Friends. So was not at Doug Peterson's availability this morning. However, per the boots on the ground that were there, Doug saying that Josh Hines-Allen is progressing while still in the concussion protocol, said he is optimistic that the star pass rusher will be able to go Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. He also mentioned that Devin Lloyd and Darnell Savage, quote, should be good to go, but that Evan Ingram may take a bit more time. And so obviously that's a situation that we will be monitoring as the injury report expected to come out, if not towards the end of our show, a little bit later this afternoon.
And you'll be there on Sunday on the field, so certainly if there's news to be had from there, you'll be able to break it from there.
Well said, Lauren, because, and that's the thing is very much, Devin Lloyd and Josh Hines-Allen were limited in practice yesterday, but last week I asked Doug on Friday how Devin Lloyd was feeling, and he said it was just soreness.
Yep.
He flew to Houston, he warmed up, and then ultimately they said, probably not the best for him to go. And so we don't know exactly what will be the case with those players. Some other players who were limited in practice throughout the duration of this week for the Jaguars, Yasir Abdullah with a neck injury, Tank Bigsby and Gabe Davis and Travis Etienne and Jarian Jones all with shoulder injuries. And then the aforementioned Evan Ingram with the hamstring and Darnell Savage with the quad that has kept him out each of the last 3 games. Meanwhile, in Indianapolis, the questions continue surrounding who will be under center when the Colts come here to Everbank Stadium on Sunday. Anthony Richardson officially listed as limited with that oblique hip injury both Wednesday and Thursday. Of note, Jonathan Taylor has yet to practice this week, so expectations from the folks out in Indianapolis, Lauren, which we'll catch up with one of them coming up in the 1 o'clock hour, certainly trending towards he will not be available for this game on Sunday. Kwity Paye also did not practice this week so far with a quadricep injury.
It's good news for the Jaguars.
Yes, also good news for the Jaguars. Ryan Kelly, the center, did not practice with a neck injury.
And he didn't play last week either.
Kenny Moore did not practice with a hip injury, the best corner. Of note, players who did practice on Thursday that did not practice Wednesday for Indianapolis: Zaire Franklin with an illness, Braden Smith with a knee injury, and then Grant Stewart, the linebacker, with a heel injury. All 3 of those players were full participants on Thursday after being held out Wednesday. And so the questions, they remain. Who will be the quarterback? Who will be the starting center? Who will be the de facto number 1 nickel? And who will be the de facto number 1 pass rusher? Because don't forget, DeForest Buckner will not be eligible for this game either for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, all of that is trending in the way of the Jaguars. But, Mia, how many times have we said, oh, well, this team is missing. The Browns are missing their 2 starting tackles. The Texans were missing their starting running backs. And then certainly Laramie Tunsil was in and out of that game as well. So it doesn't really matter what other teams deal with. You have to take care of business yourself.
Yep.
And certainly that's what the Jaguars are expected to do on Sunday. And like you mentioned, we'll chat with Rick Venturi on the Colts coming up at 1 o'clock. But let's now make our picks. And don't worry, I have Taylor Dawes ready. We will start in the world of college football. It's really kind of the last weekend without the juiciest of juicy games. That begins next weekend. So we will start with Missouri on the road to take on Texas A&M. Mia, Texas A&M is a 2.5-point favorite in this game in College Station, Texas, which surprises me a little bit, but who you got?
Yeah, this one's a tough one because here are the list of teams that Missouri has played so far this season. Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, that's a ranked Boston College, by the way, back in week 3. And that was a close game. And then Vanderbilt. And so logic would suggest that this A&M team is the best team that Mizzou has faced. Logic would also suggest that 2.5-point line is giving the home team a little bit of an advantage.
Right.
It's a nooner.
Which helps Missouri.
Helps Missouri. Give me the Tigers. I still have questions about their defense, but at the same time, that offense can score with the best of them so long as Luther Burden is healthy. And I think for what it's worth, there's also questions about A&M's offense because we saw it firsthand in that opener against Notre Dame, Lauren. Can they pass the ball? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see what Eli Drinkwitz and Missouri, the game plan that they're going to have for A&M. And I'm with you. I've got Missouri. Taylor went the other way. She's got Texas A&M, probably because she still remembers that A&M Notre Dame game very closely. But I think Drinkwitz is a really, really good coach, and Brady Cook, I think, is a better quarterback than what A&M will trot out there. So you and I have Missouri. Taylor went Texas A&M. Let's get it to Arkansas. Your guy, Sam Pittman. His team plays host to the Tennessee Volunteers.
Sir.
Tennessee is a 13.5-point favorite on the road. Look, Matt Hayes talked about it earlier this week. This is a tricky game for Tennessee. Again, next weekend, Tennessee plays host to Florida. Not saying Florida's all that, obviously, by any means. However, they're probably looking at that game already because it's a night game, licking their chops for that one. So Tennessee on the road to Arkansas. Taylor went with Tennessee, by the way. I also have the Vols because I do think 13.5 isn't that big of a line, and Tennessee's offense, I think, is going to overpower the Razorbacks. What say you?
I guess because I am the number one Sam Pittman fan outside of Fayetteville. Ask anybody who has an affinity for Arkansas in this town. I'm always tweeting out that yes sir meme of our good friend Sam. Yes, I am going to take the home Dogs plus 13.5. Tennessee gets the win. I think Tennessee, honestly, when all is said and done in the next 2-3 weeks, and certainly the competition is going to pick up a notch in the next 2 weeks for the Vols, I think that they could lay their claim to being the best team in the nation over the next month of the season.
It's fascinating because you've got Texas in the SEC, certainly vying to be the top team in that league. You've got Alabama, who just beat Georgia, vying to be the top team in that league. And you have Tennessee as well. And so who in the end shakes out? Georgia's saying, please don't forget about us. We just had a really bad half, but we got our wits about us in the second half and certainly took the lead there late in the fourth quarter. So I know you were getting ice cream, but it was a really good second half.
I was getting
Everyone
ice cream.
keeps saying, by the way, that was like the game of the year. No, it was the fourth quarter of the year.
Right.
The first 3 quarters were
I watched every play of the first half and was just like, all right.
You walked away saying Jalen Milroe is going to win the Heisman, didn't you?
I still think Jalen Milroe may win the Heisman, but yes, continue.
All right, we've got Florida playing host to UCF. UCF is now a 2.5-point favorite. It started with Florida being a 2.5-point favorite. I'll go first. You know I'm going to pick the University of Florida because of the fact that I think, not because I have not much faith in Billy Napier necessarily, but I do think that Florida's ground game is going to be able to at least keep the ball away from UCF and its ground game. And so I've got the Florida Gators. Taylor went with UCF.
Okay, let me ask you this, Lauren. Are we looking at this as the 2.5-point line it was when we gave Taylor Dahl the spreads before she headed out on vacation?
Because we gave her 2.5 for UCF.
Because the line has shifted to 1.5 now.
Well, then, we have to go with what
okay, so we're staying with 2.5. And so
because I looked this morning and it was still 2.5.
So you are going with Florida plus 2.5. Correct. Taylor going UCF minus 2.5. I said I would not pick the Florida Gators until they win again.
Okay.
They did win, so therefore I will also, for one last time this season. Just kidding. I'm going with UCF. I have to take one favorite. I have to pick one favorite, and the fact that it's that 2.5-point line. As much as our friend Darren Stoltzfus of West TV told us earlier this week, he thinks that this can only go one of two ways: big for UCF or big for Florida. As we have a birdie here on hole 7. I'm trying to see who it was. Was it Patrick? I can't see on our golf coverage broadcast. We'll let you know who that
David
birdie
Duval.
was. David Duval!
That's a good sign. And
love that.
The Jaguars.
That's a very good sign as we get ready to make our picks for the NFL and the Jaguars here. But yeah, Darren said it's going to be either big UCF win, big Florida win. Give me the Knights.
All right, we'll go quickly here because we have Reimer waiting on the other side. The Bills take on the Texans in Houston. Bills are a 1-point favorite. Both Taylor and I have the Bills.
Yep, I am also rolling with the Bills. I think after just an abomination last week at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens, there's no doubt in my mind that team's going to come out firing. And I also still have questions, even if a Tank Dell and a Joe Mixon can go, a healthy Joe Mixon, a healthy Tank Dell can go.
And all the penalties.
I still have questions about that entire operation.
All right, this to me is probably the hardest game to pick of the weekend as far as the NFL is concerned. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites, but they're at Cincinnati. And the Bengals at this point to me are a desperate team, but so are the Ravens. Taylor and I both have the Ravens.
Okay, you guys are taking the Ravens. I am rolling with Joe Burrow and the Bengals because water is wet. October hits and Joe Burrow makes it known that either A, he's going to get hurt in the next 3 weeks and then we're not going to have to worry about Cincinnati, or that this is a team that indeed always starts the season off slow and then finds their footing as the season goes on.
Give me Derek freaking Henry, the guy who leads the National Football League in rushing yards. And finally, the Colts, of course, are at the Jaguars. The Jaguars are 3.5-point favorites. Taylor and I both have the Jaguars. I do believe this is Trevor Lawrence's bounce-back game. I think it's another great game for Brian Thomas Jr., and I think the defense finally gets at least one takeaway. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Colts, but I think the defense gets at least one takeaway.
Yep, I said, much like the Florida Gators, although I said I would start picking the Florida Gators when they won again, and they did, and I just went ahead and picked UCF. I will not pick the Jaguars. Yes, exactly. No, I love you, Florida. I can't wait for basketball season. Todd Golden, baby. Top 10 outfit. Let's do it. I'm going to pick the Colts just by virtue of I need to see it from the Jags, and because that way I make some money at my bookie, even if the Jaguars do win. Or if they win, we're happy, and if they lose, I make some money.
And Taylor also has the Jaguars, which surprises me just a little bit.
She picked them last week.
She did.
And they did cover. She got the points. We did not.
That is very true. So let's hope she's right again. The total points, by the way, Taylor has 17, Mia has 15, and I'm in the cellar with 12. Those are our picks. We will chat with Chris Reimer when we return, of course, out here live at Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K. We are here at the ViStar Patriots Outpost. It's a Sunshine Turf Friday. Visit them online, sunshineturf.info, or call 904-383-0243, and he will help turn your backyard into the yard of your dreams. It's Tenson XL and 92.5 FM.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, and we're knee-deep in football season. If you haven't tried Hard Rock Bet yet, it's time. And if you don't win your first bet, you get up to $100 back for a second chance, paid as a bonus bet. HardRock.bet has it all, everything in the game. Bet on TDs, passing yards, total points, who wins, and so much more. College football, too, with big-time conference play heating up. It's all at HardRock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Mia here, and when I was buying a new construction home last summer, there was no question. Dreamfinders Homes was the builder for me. A big reason why? Their unbeatable interest rates. Right now, you can take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. Find your dream home, take advantage of unbeatable rates, and move in today. I'll say it again, 2.99% year one rate. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's your boy E.T., and if you can't make it to the game, come watch the game with me. I'll be at Mr. Chubby's Fleming Island this Sunday. $9 pitchers, the best wings in town, and the NFL package on all them TVs. They got 19 TVs, so you won't miss a thing. I'll be giving out swag from Tintin XL and Mr. Chubby. It's going to be a party. Make sure you come say hi. $9 pitchers this Sunday, 1 p.m. Colts Jags, Mr. Chubby's Wings in Fleming Island. Proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Come on, somebody.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
It's a Sunshine Turf Friday. The highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices. Visit sunshineturf.info today.
It's time to take it back to the 90s, Jags fans. Be at the bank Sunday, October 6th, as we debut our Prowler throwback jerseys against the Colts and induct legendary head coach Tom Coughlin into the pride of the Jaguars at halftime. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. You're not going to want to miss this matchup. Lock in your seats now by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand-new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 4th, 2018, NFL legendary quarterback Tom Brady becomes only the 3rd NFL quarterback to record 500 career touchdown passes.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Can you believe they've been cleaning carpets in Jacksonville now for 20 years? Dave Benyon, his family, and staff are so grateful of things and appreciate you, their great customers. In fact, October's birthday month for Zero Res. So what are we doing for customers? Just say happy birthday, Zero Res, and we'll give you $50 off. That's $50 off carpet, tile, and grout, upholstery, or area rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Peaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars legend Tom Coughlin will be inducted as the 7th member of the Pride of the Jaguars on Sunday. Coughlin's first draft pick, Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Baselli, on one of the main things he will always remember about Coughlin.
Love him, hate him, want to kill him, want to hug him.
Yeah.
The one thing that everyone did in this building, and still to this day for me, is you respect him. You respected Tom Coughlin because he was the same every day. He's the most consistent individual, one of the most disciplined individuals I've ever been around. And he never asked anyone to do anything that he wasn't willing to do.
Tony Baselli on the newest member of the Pride of the Jaguars, Tom Coughlin. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Helmets and Heels is switched on by
First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Upscale Lighting, Fans, and Home Decor on 1010XL.
Lauren, RJ, please file this away under things I never thought I'd ever hear someone say. Man, these birdie beers are getting exhausting on hole 7. Did my ears deceive me as a gentleman just walked past and said as much? That there's so many birdies that we're experiencing here on hole 7 at Constellation, Furyk and Friends, that the beers, they're just flowing too much?
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that there's too many beers, as we welcome in Chris Reimer here, CRPR, and also now TGL Golf.
TGL, yeah.
And the Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K. This is such a fantastic event, Chris. There's no such thing as too much beer, is there?
I have never,
or exhausting
the way that I play golf, I have never had anybody say this is too much beer. So
I guess it's the walk over to the beer stands from
Which,
Patriots Outpost where we are, that the up and down of the chalets, it gets to you.
Which is probably pretty good if you're walking it off, right?
Absolutely.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and we just had Jim Furyk, I think one of the people on that green. I'm not sure if he made a birdie, but certainly someone in his group did. So we'll continue to keep people updated. And Chris, right now there is a 3-way tie at the top of the leaderboard. You've got Scott Perrell, Bob Estes, and Joe Durant all tied at 5 under, followed by Paul Goydos and Tim Herron both at 4 under, and Lee Jansen just joined them at 4 under as well. Who do you think's winning the golf tournament? I'm just kidding.
Well, I do know that of all the players, like Goydos and Herron are two of the fan favorites. They're both great personalities and great people. Not that there's anybody bad out here. But,
it's such a relaxed golf tournament. That's what I think makes it really special.
It is. It's kind of a throwback to, the PGA Tour 20, 30 years ago, where it's very much a community event. It's kind of the heart of a Jacksonville event. If you look here and just the access from downtown Jacksonville to Timuquana, and it kind of just feels like what the PGA Tour kind of used to be, the old Greater Jacksonville Open, those types of tournaments. Even the RSM up in Sea Island now, it's got that kind of throwback feel to it. You do get a sense that the players are a little more relaxed. They're a little bit more approachable, especially during like the Pro-Am days. And they get out here, they get the competing though inside the ropes. The old juice come out, but it is a great event. It's got something for everybody: golf fans, socialites, business folks, families, all of those groups. There's something for everybody out here, and it's enjoyable. It's super fun.
So let's talk a little bit about the on-course action, Chris. I want to ask you, of course, since I haven't had the chance to speak to Jim since he returned from Montreal and the President's Cup, the experiences that were had up there. We'll get to that in just a second. For those who are headed out here to Timuquana this weekend, give us an idea of the Champions Tour, who some of the front runners have been so far this season.
Well, one super familiar name is Ernie Els. He's the leading money winner this year on PGA Tour Champions, which is great because, towards the end of his PGA Tour career, he wasn't as competitive, obviously, as he was during the Hall of Fame moments of his golf career, but he's kind of found it again. Stephen Ames, familiar name here, and he's not in the field this week, but is up close to the top of the Charles Schwab Cup points list. Familiar names that you're going to see out here, guys that are still competitive. Obviously, our host Jim Furyk, Justin Leonard. You've got Fred Funk. You'll see out here. Vijay Singh. There's some true legends of the game.
David Duval birdied right in front of us earlier.
David Duval birdied right in front of us. So But I think Ernie's really been the story on PGA Tour Champions this year as far as guys that are in the field that are still super competitive.
What I love about this event, too, is that I don't know that many people come to Timuquana that often, unless you live in, the country club or you live around here. I obviously live at the beach. I don't ever come to Timuquana. And so getting out here, it's such a beautiful golf course. And like you said, it's just such a fun atmosphere, too.
And it's, that back patio where you have the view of the St. Johns River and you can see the skyscrapers of downtown Jacksonville. It is this little tucked away, again, even though golf course itself is kind of a throwback golf course, there's not a ton of water, but it's still a difficult golf course because of the green complexes and the way that the redesign has been built. When it's fast, you get into the trees, and it's definitely harder to get up and around the greens. So even the golf course itself, an old Donald Ross design, is a little hidden gem here. The players themselves love this golf course. It's one of those where when we're not experts on golf architecture by any stretch, but they're like, there's no tricks. It's out in front of you, but you have to curve. You have to move the ball left. You have to move the ball right. Your short game has to be on. And then also, it was recently voted last year the #1 tournament by the players on the Champions Tour. So everything that Jim and Tabitha do for the fans, the players, the caddies, the families is recognized. The players all stay in downtown Jacksonville. They love the concert on Tuesday, the parties, the food. No stone left unturned by the tournament hosts. But, yeah, it's a cool, unique, awesome place to be. And I think it's I just think it's special to get out here and interact with the players themselves, but also you see a lot of familiar faces around here from Jacksonville.
I know I stressed that to our multimedia team that's here on site. I said, don't worry about I have to film every single shot or I have to interview anybody. Ensure that you're capturing the party that this is, because that's what it truly is. And like you said, Chris, Tabitha has tirelessly, Jim as well, tirelessly, Adam Renfro, of course, the tournament director too, they have focused on creating those activations and those fun zones for you, your children, so that they can participate in this event, and an entire host of people who come to the First Coast for this event.
Including our neighbors here at NAS Jax, the military here with the ViStar Patriots Outpost. You find the right partners, and you find Circle K, and you find Constellation, and you find ViStar, and you find all of these partners that are committed to making Jacksonville a better place, and they're all doing something around Jacksonville Zoo. They're all doing something around the pockets of this
but make sure we mention the zoo part of this, Chris, because that is insane.
There's animals out here.
There's literally live animals from the zoo that are here on site, folks.
It's awesome, and it's all local food groups, local food trucks. So it's, the players kind of set that tone, and Tabitha and Jim and Adam learned a lot from it. And I think you see that out here, even in this tent in the Patriots Outpost, and what they're doing for the military with free access, free tickets, food, massive table of cookies and donuts over there that I'm trying to ignore. So it's great. It is great. And somebody was talking to me earlier this week about Tabitha and Jim. This is all, Tabitha doesn't take a salary, and it's a massive undertaking to put a golf tournament on. What their foundation does, how it benefits the community. When you look at people like Tabitha and Jim, Tony Baselli, Tom Coughlin, who aren't from this community, they get here, they establish roots, and then it becomes, what they do for the community, these stalwarts of their industries and of their sports, and how they give back. It's really cool, and I think it's something special to Jacksonville in the way that we celebrate our athletes, the way that we embrace our athletes, that they want to stay and they want to give back and they want to do more for the Jacksonville area. And so kudos to Tabitha and Jim for kind of being part of that.
Yeah, I love that, like you said, they're not from here, but they embrace Jacksonville and they stay here.
Yeah.
That's how great they think the city is, and we're certainly better off for all of them that you mentioned. All right, so Chris, I mentioned TGL at the top. So CRPR is your marketing or your PR firm.
Yep.
And also now you're in TGL, and so for people who have absolutely no idea, I know you were explaining it to Frank the other day. By the way, happy birthday, Frank Frangie.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So tell us more about TGL.
So how long we got? Because every time.
It looks like we have 8 minutes, so you're okay. You got some time.
Every time I do a press release on the most simplest thing about TGL, we sign a new partner or there's a new player committed, I have to spend 6 pages explaining what the heck it is. And so TGL is a new golf league that was started by Rory and Tiger. There are 6 teams, 24 PGA Tour players, so 4 players on each team. The ownership groups of those 6 teams are Arthur Blank owns Atlanta, Steve Cohen owns the Mets, owns New York, Alexis Ohanian and Serena Williams own the Los Angeles team. Fenway Sports Group owns Boston, so on and so forth.
So me and I can't buy one of these teams.
I mean,
Well,
you
if we
could.
add a 9th or a 10th team, can we be the owners?
I think
and
we
then I
could-
can consider myself among those illustrious names.
I think I can connect you with our business group
Love
and see
it.
if you have the funds to support
Fantastic.
that.
We already know we don't.
So it's an indoor golf league. They're building a state-of-the-art venue called the SoFi Center in West Palm Beach. All the games will be played there.
So only one venue for
One
the entire
venue
league.
for now.
Okay.
We will work on
Got it.
expansion, but for now, there's one venue. The venue, if you think about it, is basically a massive live studio to host a broadcast in. Something like 98 cameras, 2,000 fans will be there every night for a live audience.
So it's at night, which is also different than normal golf.
Prime time, 2 hours per match on ESPN. You think of the ESPN marketing platform as football season, playoffs, college football national championship come to an end. It launches in January, so we'll have this unbelievable.
This January 2025.
January 7th will be our first match, prime time on ESPN. So it'll be 3 players versus 3 players. The rosters are 4. They get to pick what their lineup is, just like any other team would. There's going to be somebody sitting on the bench who probably won't even travel. But that is also based around the fact that we want to make sure we're not taking away from these players' PGA Tour schedule. That should be the number one priority. We're a partner with the PGA Tour. So
Because right then they're in Hawaii?
they're in Hawaii. They go through the West Coast. Then when they get to the Florida swing, we'll actually have double and triple headers each week.
Okay.
So 15 holes, 9 holes of alternate shot triples. So the 3 of us are on a team. Mia hits first, puts it right down the middle of the fairway.
Good job,
Lauren
Mia.
puts us right close to the pin. I get
course
to
I
make a
did.
tap-in birdie putt. We're playing against another team, alternate shot, doing the same thing. You get a point if you win a hole.
Okay.
Now, here's
So
where
that's a little Ryder Cup-ish.
very Ryder Cup-ish, except it's triples instead of doubles.
Okay.
And then the last 6 holes, it's mano-a-mano. So it's 1v1 competition. So I would play one player from the other team. You would play on the next hole. Team with the most points wins the match. You get 2 points for a win. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Inside the venue.
Right. That's the question that I have. Because
Inside-
initially, wasn't this going to be a virtual?
It's a little of both.
Okay.
So inside the venue is a screen that is 5 stories high. It's 24 times larger than a regular simulator screen. It's the biggest golf simulator screen in the world. Players will be hitting from 35 yards away from real grass, real rough, real sand in these little tee box areas. They hit into the screen. So 35 yards away, all our technology traces where the ball's going to go. Then you see it, and just like you would at Four Score Golf Tavern, you see the ball traveling, spinning. Obviously, a little more technology than there. It lands. Let's say it lands in a bunker on the virtual golf course. We drop in the bunker, and you have to hit from the bunker into the screen. Once it gets to where it's 50 yards away in the virtual world, a light comes down, and we have a real green that is basically the size of a basketball court. The entire short game area is the size of 4 basketball courts. A light comes down, shows you where your ball is in the virtual world, and then your team has to actually go get the ball in the hole. That green is on a 360-degree rotating turntable. Underneath the green are 600 actuators that actually change how the green breaks every single hole.
Holy cow.
We had
Who came up with this?
We had real world.
Kristen.
Yeah.
It sounds like me after a night in college, figuring out a game with 2 ping pong balls and my friends, but I actually didn't. But so we had real world course designers design these holes, and they mix between the virtual world, and then they have to fit into the green that we have built in the facility. So it's that first mix of esports mixed with live competition, real professional athletes. Every player is mic'd up. There's a 40-second shot clock, which is new to golf, so it's going to be very fast-paced. With the shot clock and players being mic'd up, you're going to get some strategy that you wouldn't normally get. You're going to hear Tiger and Max Homa talking about what's your preferred layup distance. Are we going to try to drive the green here? What is it to carry this bunker? Go behind the hole and help me read this putt. We only got 40 seconds to hit. So that's going to be a unique element where you get to hear all of these players as they talk strategy, as they talk a little trash to each other.
I love
which
that.
is going to make it a lot of fun. And again, all done in 2 hours. I think there's something for the core fan in this. Just the amount of data and analytics and the fact that every shot is live and you'll be able to bet on every single shot taken.
Yep, that's the key word there.
That's fun. And then I also think when you go to Topgolf, when you go to Fourscore Tavern, a lot of free publicity for their simulator world here, but there's all these alternative forms of golf that are out there now. When you go to Topgolf, a lot of the people there have never hit a shot on a green grass course. There's less intimidation than coming out to Timuquana. You don't feel like you're going to stand in the wrong place. You're going to wear the wrong thing. You're going to say the wrong thing. So those people want to get involved in PGA Tour golf. Maybe when they turn on a Friday broadcast, it's not exactly what they're looking for. This is that entry level into professional golf where, okay, it's 2 hours. I can watch from start to finish. It's fast-paced. There's lights. There's a DJ. There's
everybody's mic'd up,
LED,
so you get to go behind the scenes.
And maybe that gets them interested in our athletes and PGA Tour athletes to go then turn on the Players' Championship, to go attend the Constellation Fingerprints. So we're hopeful that there's something for both the core fan and the casual fan.
And when it's not being used by these tournaments, fans will get to play there?
Well, that's kind of next step, right?
Okay.
What I'm supposed to say on the air is that we're focusing all of our efforts to make sure that our first season is a success. Yes, there will be, what are we going to do with the LPGA eventually? What do we do? There's talk with, Omaha Productions. Can we get, Kelsey and Mahomes against Eli and Peyton in this facility? That's all next steps. There'll be expansion. There'll be new athletes. We're going to build a venue, West Coast, so that it's easier to have matches out on the Pete. But first things first, we got to make sure that this season is a success.
I have so many more questions, but I know our time is short.
Yes.
I do want to make sure we get to 669 on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, who says, I really miss Chris on Brunch with the Tour. He is such an entertaining personality. Needed to make sure we got that shout out. 641-1010, the number to reach us if you have a comment for Chris about TGL or, of course, anything else that we are discussing on today's program.
Once every 6 months, we'll be at a function or something, and someone will be like, are you Reimer's on the radio? And I look at my wife, Morgan, I'm like, see, I'm a celebrity.
Reimer on the radio.
Yeah. Once every 6 months, I have to remind Morgan that I am very, very famous.
Well, we, of course, had to make you a celebrity today.
Yes, I did promise briefly, Chris, if you can, because I know our time is short,
Sure.
President's Cup.
Yeah.
Big takeaways. The U.S. goes up big. They get beat up in round 2, and then quite a finish up there in Montreal.
I just, as an American, you want the U.S. team to win. Jim made it very sure with some of his comments in the media that no one that is in the U.S. fans should be cheering on the international team. You do feel like at some point the international team should be a little more competitive, and that's why I was so happy to see the Friday round where when they were down 5-0, they battled back to make it interesting. I loved seeing – I love team competitions. That's why TGL is so exciting. I love seeing guys high fives on greens. I love the fist pumps from both sides, the energy that comes along with team competition. The growth of golf internationally happens because of events like the President's Cup, not necessarily in places like the UK, but places like Asia and Korea and some of these Canada. Some of these places where golf isn't as institutionalized as it is here. It's important for the President's Cup to take place, but I thought, the Keegan Bradley element of the President's Cup was really cool to see as the next captain of the U.S. team. For the Ryder Cup, seeing him kind of come back, make that winning putt was really cool. Love seeing Colin Morikawa step up and some of these other guys step up. But it was entertaining, and that's what it should be. Super entertaining, and it's great to see Jim go out there and be successful and pull the right levers and do the right things to make the U.S. team bring home the cup.
And Jag's going to win on Sunday, 10 seconds or less.
What's that?
Jag's going to win on Sunday.
Oh, God.
We need another 10 minutes for
That's
that.
why I only gave you 10 seconds.
I will say no until they prove to me that they can.
That's what I said.
But you'll be tailgating regardless.
And
that's the most fun part.
And, there's still tickets available here if you want to come watch here and enjoy yourself.
There you go. All right. That is Chris Reimer, CRPR, and TGL. Chris, we really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. We are live here at Constellation Fierick and Friends, presented by Circle K. We'll be back talking Jags Colts with Rick Venturi, former NFL coach and current Colts radio analyst. It's a Sunshine Turf Friday. Give them a call, 904-383-0243. It's Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich? The honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with a Chick-fil-A filet, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. The honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a twist. And this year it's back with a bite with a spicy filet option, available for a limited time only. So stop by today and enjoy one at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Every week we are seeing listeners cash in betting with MyBookie. Mia here, and look, you don't have to bet big, folks. Just getting some skin in the game makes it so much more fun. This weekend, your hometown team is actually favored to beat the Colts -3. What a world! This may be one of those reverse jinx games where I bet the Colts to win. Actually, I just picked them on our program. And if they don't, guess what? I'm happy anyway. The Bills play the Texans meanwhile, and the Stephon Diggs revenge game sure sounds like a shootout. Give me the over on 47.5 game total. And on Sunday night, the Cowboys, 2.5-point road dogs traveling to Pittsburgh. I'll take the boys with the points. No way they start 2-3, right? Right? The MyBookie double deposit bonus is still live, folks, up to $1,000. Sign up now using promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
It's football all day on Pregame Friday.
Little pigskin, why not?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
It's fantastic.
Pregame Friday
Is brought to you by Dream Finders Homes and MyBookie on 1010XL.
When you need a plumber,
call Duck Duck Rooter.
when you need your septic tank pumped out,
Call Duck Duck Rooter.
when you need any septic or plumbing issue fixed right the first time,
Call Duck Duck Rooter.
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services. DuckDuckRooter.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Sunshine Turf Friday.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe. I want to talk to you about picking the right battles to fight in this life. Every day, we have opportunities to get upset and angry. But I want you to realize that sometimes you have to ignore in this life so that you can soar into the kingdom of heaven. My encouragement, friends, to you is to pick the right battles to fight. Fight only battles that help you draw closer to God, because you have to ignore so that you can soar.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What word is misspelled on the Liberty Bell? The answer next.
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
When word Pennsylvania is misspelled on the Liberty Bell, which is unfortunate as this monument is featured in the Liberty Bell Center in Philadelphia.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Picking here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Riddle Wellness. This weekend's in-state matchup takes place in the Swamp when the Florida Gators host the UCF Knights. The Gators are fresh coming off a bye week with UCF looking for a rebound after their first loss of the year to Colorado last week. Head coach Billy Napier spoke on the importance of starting out fast and getting the crowd hyped to help them win this Saturday.
That'll be part of one of the keys to playing winning football Saturday night. We got to start fast and we've got to get our fans involved.
Kickoff tomorrow night at 7:45. Listen to the game live on 1010XL. Following the Gators game, the Miami Hurricanes will be over on the West Coast taking on the California Golden Bears. Golden Bears currently lead the nation in interceptions. Hurricanes QB Cam Ward stated they have to execute to be an efficient offense.
They're good sound defense. They are what they say they are on the stat sheet. At the end of the day, we just got to execute plays.
It's 86 degrees at 1 o'clock time in temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks here at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, and we welcome in our next guest, Rick Venturi, to talk all things Jaguars Colts. Rick, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, I appreciate being on. I'm looking forward to the trip down there. Duval County has been a house of horrors for the Colts, so I hope we can change that, and not to minimize it, but I live half the year in Florida. I should say lived, because my place down in Reddington Beach was totally destroyed by Helene last weekend. That place has been on the point there since 1957, if you can believe it. I've owned it for 41 years. So, yeah. So, right now, Florida is a little bit of a tough place for me.
I can understand that. Like you said, it hasn't been good to the Colts here at Everbank Stadium. And then, Hurricane Helene, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Sure.
I know RJ had mentioned that you have a lot going on with the damages from the storm, and so I hope that you're able to rebuild.
Yeah, we're good. Looking forward to the game, though. As I just told him, I said, my one respite, my one place where, all the distractions kind of go away. I've been doing this for so many years. Is football, and when I step foot in that stadium, it's football, and it actually is my respite right now.
I believe it. Absolutely. Rick Venturi is our guest on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. We are coming at you live from Timuquana Golf Club at the Constellation Furyk and Friends event. But, of course, counting down the hours until Rick and the Colts arrive at Everbank Stadium for the Jaguars and the Colts Week 5 action. Rick, let's dive right into it. The reports so far from Colts practice today, Joe Flacco taking the bulk of the first-team reps. Who do you anticipate at this juncture getting the start on Sunday against the Jags?
Well, it's totally problematic and questionable. Steichen is really tough on that. He's not going to let you know till Sunday morning. I mean, you're not going to know probably till 1 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if Richardson doesn't try it, but the problem is the type of quarterback he is, which is not just a drop-back passer like in total NFL. He's an entity, as you guys know. You guys know him very well. And basically, without his ability to run, he's not the same guy. Plus, that's a very painful injury that you may feel like you're all right, but what happens when you take another hit? So, that's the old-fashioned hip pointer. So, it may be Joe. I'm not trying to be evasive. We really don't know here in that regard. But we're in pretty good hands. It's a different kind of team when Flacco's at the control. And Steichen did a great job Sunday. And, having coached so many years, 27 in the NFL as I have, and called a million games, he made a great transition. It was seamless from kind of that NCAA offense with AR5 and then go to a classic NFL offense with Flacco. He really did it last week against a really good defense without missing a beat.
Yes, certainly. And here in Jacksonville, we saw Joe Flacco with the Browns beat the Jaguars last year. And so I think Jags fans are a little bit nervous because it should be or potentially will be Joe Flacco at the helm. So you are a former NFL coach, Rick. What have you seen as far as Trevor Lawrence and the struggles of this 0-4 Jaguars team?
Well, it's really been interesting on both sides of the ball. If you just look at four stats, I mean, it's really an underachieving, and I'm not trying to point the finger at anybody. It's statistically an underachieving team. A year ago, the Jags were 15th in scoring. Now they're 29th. They were 12th in total. They're 25th. On defense, they're 30th on scoring, and they were 16th. They're 30th on total. They were 19th. They're not playing, and that's what's a little bit scary to me. If I were coaching the Colts right now, I would be very wary of this situation because I think when you play an underachieving team that is desperate, and with our history in Duval County, this is a very tough obstacle. I think the biggest problems, they just really and truly, it's almost amazing to me with the perimeter talent that they have, and with Lawrence's overall ability that they've only got to 20 once. And that's a little bit scary for me. He and the problem with it is, he has generational talent. So you get him on a good day, and it can be very, very difficult. And he's always played very, very well, as has a lot of Jaguars. I think the other thing is that if you go up and down the Jaguar lineup on both sides, there's a lot of Colts killers there. And so, that's kind of in the recesses of my mind. But, he has struggled. I think, and I don't think they've had a big talent drop-off, but, he really, with the exception of Kirk, he really is playing with a totally new receiver core. I mean, and yet it's very talented. I mean, Thomas is a star in waiting. I think it's really hurt him not to have Ingram. I think Ingram is not only a matchup nightmare for the defense, but I think he's a security blanket. He's a guy you can move around and know you can get to. So, I think those have been the issues. Kirk is still, he's a guy with 1 million catches in this league. He's Mr. Dependable. They've had trouble in the offensive line. They haven't protected him. They really haven't protected him very well. They're 27th in sacks, and he's an athlete. He can get in and out of trouble, and when those things start happening, you start hurrying things, your accuracy starts to fall off. You just lose that security that you have. And defensively, to me, they just haven't looked like the Jaguar team of a year ago in the past that really did a great job against us. They have really struggled. The transition, they just haven't made it yet. I know they made a big off-season change, but they haven't adapted as a team to that yet, and I'm just hoping it doesn't happen this week.
Back to the Colts side of things, Rick, we not only get the opportunity to speak with you here on the Garber Auto Mall hotline, we also have the opportunity to break some news here on 1010XL. RJ, if you could please hit a that for us. A that, Rick, by the way, is our breaking news sound effect.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, Rick, I'm going to read this off, and then I want your instant reaction to it. Are you ready, sir?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Shane Steichen has officially ruled out the following players for Sunday's game in Jacksonville. Kenny Moore with the hip injury, Kwity Paye with the quad, Jonathan Taylor with the ankle injury, and on Anthony Richardson, he says, we will see.
Yeah. Well, it's very – and I really felt like Taylor would be out. Taylor's had ankle problems before that he's missed time. This one isn't as serious, but it wasn't going to be an instant fix. That is really tough for us. I think that, Jonathan Taylor is so valuable to us. I mean, he's one of the great running backs in the league with a terrific blocking offensive line. They just ripped the Steelers. They took the number one defense in the league and took them to school last week, and a lot of it started with Taylor's running. And, Sturman, those guys are a little unproven. I think the drop-off at running back is big. But I anticipated that, really. I knew he hadn't practiced all week, and it's just with him, the type of running back he is, without those secure ankles, he's not going to be ready. So, and then Richardson, game time decision, I got a feeling like that's not going to go well. But when you have two quarterbacks that are totally opposite, and your offense is totally different, you don't want to show your hand. You want the Jags to have to prepare for both guys. So, again, we'll see down at the stadium at 1:00.
Lots of old friends for the Jaguars, Rick, with Gus Bradley, the defensive coordinator, and Taven Bryan as well on that defensive front. So it'll be a little bit of a reunion there in Jacksonville. So it sounds like to me you think the Jaguars might get things on track with the offense, and the Colts are a little bit undermanned.
Well, the Colts definitely are undermanned. I thought it was a terrific victory last week against a very highly touted 3-0 Steeler team at home to overcome. We had our top guys really stepped up and played, but we had tons of guys out for the game. Richardson got hurt, went out. Taylor went out by the fourth quarter. And our others really, really stepped up and played well. It was really a franchise win, to be honest with you. But, the further you go, the tougher it gets. And, the more people get to look at you, whether it's Flacco or other liabilities that you might have, the better they can prepare for you. So I'm just concerned because I know that Jacksonville, I really just go back to not the 10 years, but the last season, we played them early before the slide, and they really outplayed us. They outplayed us on both sides of the ball, and Lawrence has always done very well against us, both with his legs and his arm. So, to me, it's a real concerning game going in there. I just really feel, and I don't mean this, in any other way, and it's not coach speak. I just think this is a better team than that 0-4, and it's a matter of them catching fire.
Rick, we appreciate your time. Real quick before we let you go, I'm curious. We talk so much about Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Shane Steichen, of course, a Coach of the Year candidate last year. Give us some insight into that defense. How big is the loss not only of Kwity Paye this weekend, but to Forrest Buckner and Kenny Moore, for what it's worth, too, who certainly is the biggest name in that secondary?
Well, Gus, really, that first 2 weeks was just abortive. I mean, we just absolutely got blown out with the run. We gave up 447, yards in those first two games, just rushing. We were really horrendous. We only turned it over one time. But they really have gone to work, and, Bryan is one of those factors. He's playing a lot now without Buckner, and they really went up. They've improved the run defense. It's been much better the last 2 weeks. It's been functional. The biggest problem that we have is we're still giving up volumes. I mean, we're 32nd in total defense. So, there's a ways to go there, and we're 32nd in time of possession. I'd have to say that those two things are if you want to say how can you win and how can you lose, well, how can you lose? That's one of them. But where Gus has done, I think, is he's gotten more aggressive. And there's two things that if you're a Jaguar fan, you have to be alert for, is we are number 8 in the league in takeaways. We can take it away. We had the takeaways, 2 critical takeaways against the Steelers and 2 fourth down stops. And then the other thing we can do, even though we're a little decimated, we still have good rushers. And if we continue to pressure a little bit, we're number 10 in the league in sacks. So, takeaways and sacks have been our salvation on defense. It's hard to think that you can just live that way, and the 32 total defense scares you. But, again, the last 2 weeks, we've had 5 takeaways. You know, the first 2 weeks, only 1. And that's really what's been the difference.
All right, Rick, well, we really, really appreciate your time and hope you have a wonderful time in Jacksonville this weekend.
And hopefully everything goes okay with your house, too, Rick. Thinking about you guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
All right, there he goes, Rick Venturi. He is a current Colts radio analyst and, of course, former NFL coach. Taylor Dahl may not be here at Timuquana with us for the Constellation Fiork and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K, but she has a tangent for us on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Sunshine Turf Friday. You can find them online at sunshineturf.info or call Caleb and his team 904-383-0243 if you want to putt. Want a pet run, if you want a playground area for your kids that's synthetic turf, it will be absolutely gorgeous all year long. It's 92.5 FM.
This hour of Helmets and Heels is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. If you like to wake up to Teal talk on game day, we have your favorite color. Beautiful. On the Terminix Kickoff Show, live from Tailgaters Parking.
I love it.
Brought to you by Gatorade and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
Mia here, and when I was buying a new construction home last summer, there was no question. Dream Finders Homes was the builder for me. A big reason why? Their unbeatable interest rates. Right now, you can take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. Hold up, let me say that again, because that's basically unheard of up and down the East Coast, folks. 2.99% year one rate. Find your dream home, take advantage of unbeatable rates, and move in today. Dream Finders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence, served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Pre-Game Friday is brought to you by MyBookie
and Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at mackenziesrun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. mackenziesrun.org.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Can you believe they've been cleaning carpets in Jacksonville now for 20 years? Dave Benyon, his family, and staff are so grateful of things and appreciate you, their great customers. In fact, October's birthday month for Zero Res. So what are we doing for customers? Just say happy birthday, Zero Res, and we'll give you $50 off. That's $50 off carpet, tile, and grout, upholstery, or area rugs. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Helmets and Heels.
It's a Sunshine Turf Friday.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Every weekend is a stone cold sports weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, and equal opportunity employer.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Light up your lunch with Helmets and Heels.
Presented by First Coast Lighting and Fans.
On 1010XL.
Mia O'Brien. I'm Lauren Brooks. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters making it all happen. Taylor Dahl on vacation today. In the early part of next week, she'll rejoin us on Wednesday. Heading up to Chicago for a little Bears action. We are live here at Timuquana Country Club for the 4th annual Constellation Fierick and Friends Golf Tournament presented by Circle K. And certainly lots of good players out on the golf course right now. We have a 4-way tie for the lead. 4 different players are at 5 under. So we'll be keeping you abreast of who is coming down. Oh, now it's just 3. Somebody just bogeyed.
Ooh.
So now it's just Scott Perrell, Paul Goidos, and Bob Estes at 5 under. Tim Herron, Joe Durant, Greg Chalmers, Rocco Media, Lee Jansen, all at 4 under. So lots of guys in the thick of it here at Timuquana. All right, right now, Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I have shared my story on here many times, and I appreciate all the love and encouragement when I do, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this. 7, that's the number of times that the average victim returns to an abusive relationship. And there's a lot of reasons for this. It varies whether it's just fear or a lot of cases, honestly, are just nowhere to turn. They have nowhere to go if they leave. Over 63,000 arrests were made in Florida from reported domestic violence incidents. Among homicides in the U.S., intimate partners kill almost 50% of female victims and 10% of male victims. Domestic violence also accounts for 6% of suicides in the United States. So if you would like to help people that are trying to escape and get away from these situations, they're survivors of these situations. Places like Betty Griffin House can help. Betty Griffin House helps supply men and women who have left abusive relationships get back on their feet. They help with stuff like bills, places to stay, food, and clothes, all of that. So visit BettyGriffinCenter.org for more information on that. But also, if you need help yourself, Promise you it's closer than you think. Call 1-800-799-SAFE. There are a lot of outlets, a lot of things that are provided on this hotline to help people trying to get out of domestic violence situations.
Look, it's really moving when Taylor talks about something that's as difficult as what she went through. And for any woman out there who is struggling, or I suppose any man, anyone out there who is struggling with domestic violence, like she said, there are people there willing to help you, and you don't have to go back to that abusive partner. We appreciate Taylor, as always, being honest and vulnerable about what that experience was like for her, and it's a very important thing for people to recognize that the person does often go back time and time again. And I think people who've never been in the situation, Mia, would say, well, why would you return to a situation if you're getting abused? Like Taylor said, oftentimes the person doesn't have anywhere to go. That might be their husband that they've been married to for a long time, or their boyfriend they lived with for a long time. They don't always have somewhere else to go. And so there are resources available, though.
And often they just don't know, because this is all they've known, and
Sure.
so therefore they don't even recognize the warning signs. And yes, appreciate Taylor for always being such an advocate for this and going out of her way to make sure that those out there that may feel alone know you are not alone in this situation. And I know when we said to her, like, hey, no, you're gonna have to record your tangent before you jet off to Chicago, she said to us, she's like, nope, it's the start of October. I want to make sure that this is out there from the first week of the month.
Absolutely. It's not always something, too, where you're going to see someone's face like black and blue, right? It's not always that obvious that the person's getting abused. And so, like I said, Taylor always does a great job advocating for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Right now, in happier news, we have lunch on the ladies to give away. Lunch for 4 to Chick-fil-A. Be caller number 3 at 641-1010. Caller number 3 at 641-1010, and you will win lunch for 4 to Chick-fil-A. We have one segment to go here live at Timuquana for the Constellation Fierick and Friends Golf Tournament. The PGA Tour Champions event benefits Northeast Florida charities through the Jim and Tabitha Fierick Foundation. So over $3.5 million already raised. Really appreciate that, and we appreciate as well ViStar for putting on this Patriots Outpost and hosting us and Primetime today, this wonderful Friday, Sunshine Turf Friday. We'll be back on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels. This hour is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers.
At Hodges Mazda, we are proud of our solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. Lauren Brooks here. As your hometown Mazda dealer, our high customer service standards and our huge inventory of new and used cars provide our customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Our professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And every vehicle purchased from Hodges Mazda comes with 2 years free maintenance. Visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Every week, we're seeing listeners cash in betting with MyBookie. Mia here, and look, you don't have to bet big. Just getting some skin in the game makes it so much more fun. This weekend, your hometown team is actually favored to beat the Colts, -3. What a world! This may be one of those reverse jinx games where I bet the Colts to win, and if they don't, I'm still happy. The Bills play the Texans, and the Stephon Diggs revenge game sure sounds like a shootout, so give me the over on the 47.5 game total over there. And on Sunday night, the Cowboys are 2.5-point road dogs traveling to Pittsburgh. I'll take the Cowboys with the points, knowing they start 2-3, right? The MyBookie double deposit bonus is still live, up to $1,000. Get signed up now using promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. One more time, promo code 1010XL. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey with my own Awaken 180 celebration. Maybe not 100 pounds like Hacker, but it's been a full year since I dropped 26 pounds and I haven't put a single pound back on. For a whole year. Free support for life at awaken180weightloss.com.
Sunshine Turf Friday.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call.
Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
It's all about the beautiful game. The Sporting Jack Soccer Hour. From national teams to youth soccer on the First Coast. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk. Tuesday at 6 p.m. on 1010 a.m.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need bathroom partitions and accessories? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. Coyle & Sons will design it for you. Call them today at 904-356-4821 or visit them at coiljacks.com.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
This is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I just wanted to say how grateful I am for Dr. Lip and Active Health in Jacksonville. Wasn't sure where my career was going to go this offseason. Had a lot of issues with my back and right hip. Thought about hanging it up, but thanks to those guys, everybody at Active Health, they got me back to where I needed to be. So thankful for the Bulls Pipeline connection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't wait to see where this year takes me out in LA.
Active Health Jacks can help you too. Give them a call today at 904-296-0202 or go online activehealthjacks.com.
16 years serving great craft beer in Jacksonville is saying something, and that's worth a round of applause. And Bold City Brewery is celebrating. Duval's oldest brewery is set up for a big party October 12th, and you don't want to miss it. All the details are at boldcitybrewery.com.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson said this morning that defensive back Darnell Savage will return on Sunday. Savage has been sidelined for the last 3 weeks with an injured quad. Peterson on the return of Darnell Savage.
It's big to get him back, bring some leadership, brings a little energy out there, in a veteran player who's played. It takes nothing away from what Jarian has done. I think Jarian did a great job and has done a great job, right? And now getting Sav back, he can learn more from him. And we're slowly getting some of our pieces, some of our injured players back.
Doug Peterson this morning. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Oh, so much to get to as we put a bow on today's program. First and foremost, a thanks to our hosts here. A round of applause, RJ, back at 1010XL headquarters for Constellation. For the ViStar Credit Union, for all of those who ensured we could be here today at Patriots Outpost at Timuquana for the Constellation Furyk and Friends opening round. So much fun. The boys of Primetime will pick up the baton where we leave it. And word on the street is, Lauren, they may have some very special guests, including some players in the field, joining them live from 2 to 4. And so our thanks to Jim and Tabitha Furyk, of course, the hosts with the most, and our thanks to the Furyk Family Foundation and the community impact that this event has each and every year. More than $3 million to Jacksonville charities. And they just want to, again, give thanks to their partners, ViStar, Constellation, Circle K, Wolfson, Nemours, Habitat, Blessings in a Backpack, and, of course, a thanks to the military sponsor here at Patriots Outpost, ViStar.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic day, and if you've never been out here to the tournament before, what you're missing is just so much fun. You get to be super close to the golfers. You get a really relaxed atmosphere. Like I said earlier, there are some golf tournaments that are stuck up. This is not one of those. Everybody's got a smile on their face and having a great time. And look, if you want to come out tomorrow, you want to come out Sunday, they'll also have, at the Tailgate Village, they'll have football on, so you don't have to miss football just to watch golf. But look, I'll cool down with something, or someone, I should say, that's on the hot seat. Both you and Taylor picked UCF to beat Florida because UCF right now is favored, and that line shifted throughout the week. But if Florida loses to UCF, and this is not a knock against UCF, this is just a matter-of-fact statement about where Florida is with Billy Napier through the first 5 weeks of the season. If Florida loses to UCF, then I do think we wake up Sunday morning and Billy Napier has been fired.
Live on the Terminex kickoff show. We will be breaking the news.
Right, because the game is not until 7:45 in Gainesville. And look, I'm somebody that over the summer I had hope and optimism for Billy Napier, but I also recognize that he's made so many in-game coaching errors to this point. So how is he going to bounce back from that? I did think that DJ Lagway was going to be a guy that was going to come in and transform the program from... Look, Graham Mertz was fairly good, but this offense wasn't spectacular last year, even with Ricky Pearsall. And certainly a big part of that is the offensive line wasn't good. So was the offensive line going to be better, and could DJ Lagway elevate this program? And also, could the defense be turned around from such a historically bad defense? Well, we have a couple answers to this point, and that is Graham Mertz is still the leader of the football program and certainly the offense. DJ Lagway will come in spells, but that doesn't change you drastically. Trey Wilson's been hurt, and the defense overall is still giving up a lot of yards both on the ground and through the air. And so this game on Saturday night is absolutely massive. We thought that maybe Florida could beat, or I thought Florida could beat a Miami because the game was in the Swamp and it was Cam Ward's first game with Miami. I was certainly way wrong about that. I do think Florida beats UCF for the sheer fact that I think Florida has more talent on the roster, and because Billy Napier's fighting for his absolute life and job in this game. But it's going to be a fun one. And we barely even talked, by the way, about Florida State Clemson, and that's because, of course, we all probably expect a rout by Clemson.
Two things, Lauren. Number one, it's funny that we went in our picks earlier in today's program. We went clean sweep, all three of us taking the Buffalo Bills +1 in Houston in light of the disaster that was Sunday Night Football in Baltimore last week for them.
And all of us, by the way, did take Alabama last week.
Right.
So we went 3 across, picked the upset correctly.
Correct. So, but I bring that up to say this idea of, well, the Bills have to bounce back. UCF was embarrassed in a nationally televised game that they had big noon kickoff there. The vibes in O-Town were so high. The bounce house was rocking.
Sure.
And they get whipped by Colorado. So can't there also be an argument that this is UCF's bounce back game as well, which is an indictment on Florida, which brings me to...
Yeah, you can make that argument.
Which brings me to, we made our picks with the line at 2.5 in favor of the Knights. That line has shifted to 1.5. Let's say Florida loses by 2. Is Billy Napier still fired first thing on Sunday morning?
I think it depends me on how it looks. Look, that's been the knock against Napier. Like I mentioned, you've got these 2 number 3s to start the season on the field during special teams a year ago. That should never happen. We never see that anywhere else. You've got other times where you feel like the offense is going well, and then he tries a trick play, like against Florida State. You're up 12-0, and then he tries a trick play at that point in time. Other coaching issues as well, time management, clock management before halves. Like, there's a lot of stuff. So it depends on how it looks. But I do think at the end of the day, this Florida fan base, where some people call it toxic, I totally disagree. The Swamp has been sold out for every game under Napier.
Yeah.
So get that out of here. But moreover, this fan base is ready for a proven winner.
Right.
And they are chomping at the bit, literally and figuratively, to have a coach come in and breathe a breath of fresh air because they expect this program to be in the college football playoff year in and year out. And Florida has never made the college football playoff. That's not all Billy Napier's fault, obviously. It's coaches before him as well. But that's where that's the expectation Florida fans have. It's certainly the expectation that Florida State fans have right now, too. And they're being, they are more disappointed than probably most fans to this point. But
they also won an ACC title last year.
They did, but now because they've fallen off so far, certainly Norvell, I think for some fans, they're already over him because they think his only success was with Jordan Travis, and he's been a bad evaluator of talent by bringing in some of those guys from the transfer portal that haven't played well. So it's a big weekend for both, I think, Florida and Florida State not to get embarrassed. Like, you are starting Brock Lynn, not DJ Uyunglele. Can you
because of injury? Because of injury.
Sure,
let the record show.
There's a broken finger on his throwing hand. A lot of fans go into games like this, the games in Gainesville for Florida, the games in Tallahassee for Florida State. They expect their teams to be competitive, and if that's all you can expect right now, then you have fallen off a cliff.
Right, and that's where I want to be clear. I do not hate you, Gator fans. I actually, Lauren, tell me, what's this last tab that I have pulled up right now on my computer? I am here.
I see Major League Baseball scoreboard.
Yes, because I'm here to give a round of applause and a shout out to Pete Alonso, who did something that has never been done in New York Mets history. Shout out to Dan Hicken. Shout out to the Metropolitans.
Did you think Dan was a little hoarse this morning?
Oh my God! I literally as it happened because so straight up, and then I will get back to the Gator football program. But a shout out to Gator baseball and Pete Alonso. I for the second time in a week, Lauren, in a game that I thought was over, I got up and moved away from the TV. I did it during Georgia-Alabama on Saturday in Houston, and last night I said, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. 1 out, top of the 9th. Let me go finish some laundry. And within seconds of me standing up, Kevin yelled out, Pete Alonso just hit a 3-run homer. And I was like, what?
That's why you don't give up on the game.
So, Gator fans, maybe I have to walk away. I have to walk away for good things to happen to you. I'm just kidding. Look. It's not that I don't like the Florida program. It's that I think the perception of the Florida program within the university, which is a good thing because you do want to hold yourself to a higher standard. You do want to believe you are still a blue blood in college football. But the perception nationally right now is that you are not because you have not done anything under Billy Napier. You ran Dan Mullen out of town after 3 New Year's Six bowl games. Yes, he stopped recruiting. I get that. Before that, you had 2 tenures of coaches over the course of an 8-year period that resulted in 2 SEC championship game appearances and 2 4-win seasons. That is who you are right now. So I applaud Florida fans for saying we will not stand for this. And what must be done eventually should be done immediately, in the words of Jeremy Foley.
What frustrates me so much is the ESPN putting Dan Mullen up on this pedestal.
Oh my God!
And
it's so
that he was such a good coach at Florida and all this and that. And it's like, first and foremost, if Dan Mullen was such a great coach, wouldn't he be coaching somewhere else right now? Or he could still be the coach if he didn't quit.
He thought he was getting an NFL job. That's the thing.
Right, but he didn't, and he didn't get any job since then. And so some people are like, oh, well, he likes TV. Maybe he does. But if you're out here trying to put out this complete revisionist
every time
history
he
that he's this great coach, right? It's like, actually, again, if he wanted to coach, he could still be the coach of Florida, or he'd be the coach somewhere else because you know what? Coaches make a hell of a lot more money than broadcasters unless your name may be Tom Brady.
But also, if you're Dan Mullen, you still got the University of Florida paying you a nice little penny.
And that's another certainly problem for not just Florida, but teams when you have these buyouts and you get rid of a coach before their time is supposed to end. Look at Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher. They paid a $75 million buyout. Florida. Right now, I believe it's around.
Where's Jimbo? Does anybody know where Jimbo's at? Is somewhere in West Virginia?
I would bet he's back in Tallahassee, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know where. If anybody knows where
that's
Jimbo
where I think
is,
his family
please inform us.
Stayed. I think his ex-wife and kids stayed in Tallahassee. But either way, it's going to be a fascinating night for college football for sure. And look, at the end of the day, too, you've got Missouri and Texas A&M, which is a fantastic game in the SEC. Since we were just talking about A&M. Missouri, they right now are an outfit that believes they should be in the college football playoff. And A&M probably doesn't think that they're out of things necessarily either because they haven't played, a game in which they've lost to an SEC team. So it's going to be an interesting weekend for sure.
The beauty of the 12-team playoff, folks. Teams will still have a say and still control their own destiny, so to speak, weeks into the season, weeks into the month of October. That's something that didn't necessarily happen not too long ago.
Yeah, and then we'll wrap certainly the Jaguars-Colts. We still don't know who is going to be the quarterback for the Colts, but it certainly seems like it will be Joe Flacco. We're going to have the throwbacks, Tom Coughlin going into the pride of the Jaguars. So excited for Tom and for his family who do such wonderful things in our community through the Tom Coughlin J Fund and what he built with the Jaguars. I vividly remember when the city got the team and everything that he poured into it. And so it is past time, really past due, for him to go into the Pride. And like I said earlier, Jimmy Smith will be doing the first Duval. That's going to be exciting. I think the Jaguars will come out with some passion. I thought they played a good game against the Texans. They just squiddled it away at the end. And they've got a massive opportunity in front of them because if they can win on Sunday, Mia, and they can get some wins in London, we are having a totally different conversation about a 3-4 team if Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence can get on the same, Press Taylor can get on the same page and actually win a ball game.
Well, fresh on the heels of saying so many college teams still control their own destiny, the Jaguars control their own destiny, do they not?
Absolutely.
To your point.
Plenty of games left.
If only on paper, which the game is not played there, as we have said a time or two before, they should be winning the next 3 games. And now you open up a possibility of, at the end of October, playing 3 teams from the NFC North, which may be the best division in football right now. But 2 of those 3 games are at home. You would play a reeling Eagles team. And, of course, as anyone will tell you, at the start of the 2022 season, if you had said the Jaguars were going to knock off the Dallas Cowboys and knock off the Baltimore Ravens at home, not sure anybody would have picked that to happen. And so, look, I mean, can lightning strike twice in the same place? I'm not so sure about that. As I said, when I picked the Colts +3, brought to you by MyBookie, for me, I need to see it from this team over the course of 4 quarters. It's something I know Taylor Dahl has been very critical of, is when was the last time we saw the Jags play a 4-quarter football game outside of playing the Carolina Panthers in the second to last week of the season? The answer is, God, you have to go back to last Thanksgiving when they played the Houston Texans. And so I want to be proved wrong, Jaguars. I want you to prove me wrong. Please, please. And so to bring this whole thing full circle, I do want to say that I do think while we want to see the highlight reel plays from Brian Thomas Jr., while we want to see those deep shots down the field and Trevor Lawrence pushing the ball downfield, again, I think 7-yard pass, 10-yard pass, 5-yard pass, a bubble screen, that's okay. That is okay as long as you stay ahead of the chains and matriculate. Travis Etienne's words, not mine. Matriculate up and down the football field. Also, thank you 331 out in the 727 for informing us as we get ready to welcome in Joe C. of XL Primetime. Jimbo Fisher lives in Southwest Savannah, Georgia. Saw him at a pub last weekend.
Oh, interesting. It's been a really fun day here, and I think Sunday is going to be an electric environment. Looking forward to it. Let's say hello to Joe.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
Joe Cowart, the man of the hour, joins us now. Look, we talked to Rick Venturi earlier, Joe, on the Colts, and he said they are 32nd in total defense. However, they're top 10 in sacks and takeaways. Which defense do we see? Which quarterback do we see? So many questions.
Yeah, it is so funny because they did get to the quarterback last week, but they also gave up 3 touchdowns. Justin Fields. Okay, so that doesn't happen every single Sunday. They gave him a boost in confidence, and right now they need to make sure. I believe that secondary can be thrown on, and so Trevor needs to get well. Look, I've walked the property here, and everyone is asking what is going on with Trevor. That is the number one question. Not has Doug lost the locker room or anything like that. They want to know about Trevor. And by the way, this is not a very good Colts team. This is an opportunity to end the curse as far as the 0-4 start. Don't get to that urban level, 0-5. Keep the Colts curse going. But, yeah, he needs to be able to throw with success against this Colts secondary.
I think that, again, that 32nd overall in defense speaks to, Joe, the cover 3 of Gus Bradley. And I said this to start the program. If you take what they give you, it may only be a 7-yard crossing route in the soft spot of their zone, but take that. Don't try to force things down the field. And Lauren, of course, would love for a Brian Thomas Jr. big 20-plus yard opening,
right
play
off
of the game.
Yeah.
And I
give that juice in my veins.
But I said, look, I go back to Trevor's second start under Doug against the same Colts defense with some different pieces, of course. And I asked Trevor afterwards, I'm like, you wanted to push it downfield. And he was like, I did. But I understood you have to play within the framework of what they give you.
I used last night on X as a backdrop for what's not right with Jacksonville and what is right with 2 brand new play callers last night. Think about Liam Cohen. Now, granted, he's been in the league before, but he left. He came back. This is the first time him calling plays for Tampa Bay. Zach Robinson, first time him calling plays for Atlanta. Bottom line is that game looked fun. Both of them got off big plays, short passing game, run game, you name it. They just ate up a lot of yards, and I don't know what the total number was. We know Kirk Cousins was over 500.
509 for Kirk. You're going to be shocked by this.
I don't know what the total was for the game. I'm sure it was around $1,000.
Well, yeah, total, yes, between both teams. You would be shocked to hear, at least I was shocked, that Baker only finished with 180 yards.
Yeah.
And almost all of that was in the first half, and then 160 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised by that number, by that final tally, as the fans are out here in full force taking photos with the one and only Joe.
We've got military that love 1010XL, okay? That's all I know.
All right. Good news for you, Joe. Paul Guidos should be hopefully joining you guys in the first segment.
That, I believe, is one of just a handful that have shot 59 on the PGA Tour. Both he and Steve Stricker on the same week. Stricker shot 60. He shot 59. Stricker won. He did not. Almost won the Players. Put it in the water against Sergio. Yep. So, yeah, he's a good player. It'll be fun to say hello to him.
He's finishing up his final hole now.
Yeah. So there's just no getting away from the fact that this team could be 3-1. They are not. They are instead 0-4. Fix it. Fix it before you fly. That will be one of my mantras today.
All right, sounds good, Joe. We will be listening to all the things golf and all things football.
Sounds good.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Like Mia said, we really appreciate our friends here at the Patriots Outpost, presented by ViStar, and certainly Constellation Furic and friends presented by Circle K for having us out today. For Mia O'Brien, for the absent Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. XL Primetime Live from Tim and Quanah comes up next.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing. And you